Hoosier Days. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Atlanta Motor Speedway, where you are looking at a live scene. Track dryers working on getting the Atlanta Motor Speedway dry. We've had a pop-up shower come through the area. Unfortunately, it has canceled Xfinity Series qualifying. 38 cars were entered for this afternoon's race. They will all be in the race, I am told, and it will be lined up by the rule book. But you can see here, we're fighting a little bit of a weather situation, and for now, canceled Xfinity Series qualifying, and we will bring you the race later on today. Good morning, everyone. Dave Burns, along with Brad Doherty and Jeff Burton, two men who have lived the Xfinity Series throughout their careers. And guys, I want to look at what we just had happen here. Cancellation of qualifying, right? Now they just have to start the race straight up. Go out there, do it. Jeff, how tough is that for these young drivers?
So I would have said 3 years ago, you can't do it, but we learned during the COVID policies and processes, like they've been here, done that before. But I do think, Dave, this is a different situation because the last time we were here, it was much cooler than it is. This is a super speedway style race on a mile and a half. I had anxiety about no practice. Like, how are these cars going to drive? And now the first time they sail down in turn one will be under green flag side by side. So I do think that this is a different scenario because of the style of racing, and it's just so many unknowns involved in it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you say it all the time. This is a developmental series. This is where you take that next step to get to the big show. So these guys are trying to learn. So what they'll do with this rain delay is they'll go in and they'll have to look at data. They'll have to really dive into that, immerse themselves into that, so they're prepared, so they can overcome a little bit of that anxiety. Because, yes, this racetrack is so fast now. It's going to be fun. But these guys have to distract themselves so they don't sit and overthink it.
How do you do it, Jeff, by the way? For a lap one, turn one, right? 38 cars all barreling down there. How much do you hold back? How much are you looking for grip? What are you doing?
Well, I think with this style of track, you know, we essentially think about Daytona on a mile and a half. So you're going to go down there and you're going to run wide open. I mean, you have to trust that your car is going to stick. Part of the reason for that, Dave, is that this is a track position race. It is a relatively narrow racetrack. And if you lose track position, it's going to be difficult to get it back unless it goes single file, and then you can start picking people off one by one. But as long as it's double file, it's very difficult to go make track position. So I think from lap, if I'm driving this race, even if I'm 19, 20 years old, when they drop the green flag, I'm thinking track position. I got to go get track position.
Brad, as a car owner, then you're going,
Well, if my car's up front, I'm happy.
There you go.
I'm saying go and don't let them catch you. But, yeah, if you're back in the pack and you start this race, I want my guy to be smart. I want him to really pay attention to where people are at when they go into turn one. These young guys do. They're going to barrel in there really hard. So there's going to be mistakes made. So take advantage of those mistakes to advance your position. Just like Jeff's talking about, though, it is so hard to pass. This place is so fast now. You have to keep the pace, but you got to watch for mistakes. Take advantage of those little bobbles and get yourself some track position.
Brad mentions the reconfiguration. Of course, back in the day, Jeff Burton was fairly fast here in the Xfinity Series in his car. Jeff, do you remember those days?
I do. Yeah, this track is completely different then versus where it is now. This little Holiday Inn car would flat haul the mail. That thing was fast everywhere it went.
Good corner, boy.
Yeah, that was a good corner. And the other thing I remember about racing here, honestly, is I hate to say this, but Jeff Gordon in an Xfinity car, you're like, who is that guy? Like, who is that guy? Like, this racetrack kind of helped propel him into the Cup Series, in my opinion, because it was such a hard racetrack. And then also, I was on a long winless streak and won here with Richard Childress in the Coast Guard car, and it was like, wow. Like, I can win. Like, I hadn't forgotten how to win, and that was a big moment for me.
Yeah, this guy's so talented. It was so fun watching him. And I've watched Jeff race since the late 80s, early 90s, back in the Xfinity Series, and so talented. But, yeah, you come to this racetrack, and throughout the different iterations of this racetrack, the one thing you have to be is consistent. It's either, when we were slipping and sliding, you had to be consistent with that. Now we're up to speeds. You got to be consistent with that. So for these young guys, like we're talking about, it's being prepared whenever you get an opportunity to take that green flag here, to take advantage. You've got to take advantage, and that's a part of the maturation of being a Cup driver one day.
What's interesting is you get ready to watch the Xfinity Series race later today, 4:30 on USA for the countdown to green. There are some super speedway rules in place here. The double yellow line, you can't pass somebody below it, Jeff.
Yeah, 100%. And, that is going to come in play. So a little bit of a strange weekend, right? So we have a super speedway style race on a mile and a half, right? And you can't pass below that yellow line. Remember, you can be below that yellow line, but you can't advance your position below that yellow line. But they're doing it with cars that are their normal cars. The aero package is what they run every week, but a smaller tapered spacer to pull some horsepower out of it. And just to confuse things just a little bit more, is you do have the choose option here. So at Daytona, Talladega, they took that away. You don't have it, but here you do. So you have a yellow line rule. You have the same car you run every week, but it's got a tapered spacer. And so
where are we at? Are we at Daytona or not?
So to your point about young drivers, you got to be prepared. This is a different race, different rules. How does that affect me? Don't make a mistake coming to the blend. There are a lot of things that are happening. So you and your team need to have really sat down, and the crew chief, by the way, to understand the rules, understand what's different, and then go attack this race. But you better be prepared for some differences.
Let's take a look at the 38 drivers who are going to attack the race later on this afternoon on mile and a half Atlanta. Row 1, that'll be fun. Ty Gibbs and Josh Berry, they'll send it into turn 1.
Oh, that Ty Gibbs will send it in there for sure. He'll send it in there deep, brother. I'll guarantee it.
First 4 rows right here. We mentioned 38 starters in all, and you will see every one of them right here. Again, they're lined up by the rule book, and with qualifying canceled now for the Xfinity Series, interesting to see. They're a little mixed up here, Jeff, in terms of known speed, right?
Well, 100%, Dave, but I think as we roll down these pages, you start to find people that aren't high up in points, that aren't protected to make the playoffs. This is an opportunity race. So when we're looking at guys that just haven't won a race or that aren't in position with points, this is an opportunity for them to win this race and move themselves into playoffs. Think about Myatt Snyder.
Yeah.
He's a good plate racer. This is an opportunity for a guy like that to change his year, to completely change his year by winning a race. And trust me, they know it, and you'll see the aggression on track.
You're exactly right. I talked to Myatt last weekend, as a matter of fact, coming into here, and he is very excited about hopefully changing the direction of that race team. But you look back through that field, you got Sam Mayer. He needs a good run. You got a lot of guys that need a good run, and coming into this place, they're excited because it's new for everyone.
And you got some other guys that need to put last week behind them.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So, but seriously.
We're going to talk about that,
Yeah, but the way you move forward is to go to the next race, right? And that's got to happen for those guys too.
The next race, 4:30 this afternoon on USA. Next on USA, you'll want to tune in at noon for Cup Series qualifying. Yeah, the rain is drying. The rain's going away. Hopefully we'll have noon qualifying for the Cup Series.